Hello, everybody. I have a couple of things to say. I want to share two stories tonight. The stories of two gardens and two communities.
A little louder, please.
The stories of two gardens and two communities. Some of you may remember that we planted several gardens in Dun Meadow last spring. The biggest one was dedicated to a family in Bilin, in the West Bank. It's a village that was divided by an Israeli wall intended to separate the people from each other and their land. And every Friday, from the building of that wall, they had protests, peaceful protests, which were attended by many, many villagers, including a man named Bassem Abu Ramah, who would participate in many of the protests before, at one, in 2009, he was killed by the IOF when he tried to convince them to stop firing tear gas into a crowd, and they subsequently aimed it at his chest, killing him on the spot. He loved flowers, and so his mother, Sabia Abu Ramah, planted gardens in the spent canisters of tear gas that she collected from around. And she planted these gardens on the spot where he was killed, the site of these protests. With them in mind, and all the motherless children and parents who've had their babies stolen from them in this genocide in mind, we planted a garden on Mother's Day. The plants were a combination of edible fruits, vegetables, and herbs, flowers, and prairie natives. The goal was to honor the martyrs with beauty and to bring life into this world in their honor, but also to decolonize the lawn with corn, squash, bee balm, and echinacea. We also wanted to show IU something important, that there are other ways, better ways of doing things than making money by making bombs and AI systems for drone warfare.
Yes.
Our community doesn't need Crane to survive.
Yeah.
All we need is each other. People came from all over town with compost and straw, seedlings, and farming know-how, and we watered from the creek and the rain. Bees and butterflies returned to Dun Meadow. How many of you have seen any life in Dun Meadow in months?
Yes.
Is a garden going to save us? Of course not. There are thousands more martyrs tonight than there were on day 100 when IU took a backhoe to our martyrs' gardens. But it did help with something. It helped unsettle admin. Now, I'm a writer. I pick my words really carefully. Obviously, the university is a colonial structure sitting on stolen land and using stolen resources to fund a genocide, several genocides. But unsettling those in power is a necessary step along the path to unsettling this place and to unsettling occupations everywhere, from Turtle Island to Palestine, from the river to the sea. We showed them we care more than we fear their power. We showed them that we don't need them for shelter, medical care, or food. That 5 by 5 foot garden produced probably 50 squash, hundreds of radishes and tomatoes, and the corn would be ready by now if IU hadn't bulldozed it. If that's what a bunch of students can throw together with like a week of planning, think of the centuries-old olive trees that the IOF is trying to burn and get angry. Think about what this meadow was like before settlers turned it from a sustainable prairie into a drab waste of water with nothing to pollinate. Get pissed. Think about how when they bulldozed this garden, they bulldozed a graveyard. It's a place of remembrance and a promise to those we've lost, the families and friends of our families and friends, that this fight doesn't end until colonialism ends. So, with that in mind, welcome back to the Sabia and Bassem Abu Ramah Memorial Garden. Remember, they tried to bury us, but they didn't know we are seeds.
From the river to the sea. From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Who wants the mic?
Okay, can you hear me? Okay. Wow, I need to put my glasses on.